my name is James Adams and I'm from England.
I think peace building shouldn't just be a standalone project. I think it needs to be integrated with other areas. It needs to think strategically about how it affects all the different areas of society rather than just the peace and justice sector. You've got to be pretty intentional about looking for hope in places that seem very hopeless. I think you've got to be imaginative about the creativity of people, the resilience of people to work for change in the midst of huge suffering and huge structural violence.
My name is Ellie Edelman. I'm from the United States. I'm from an Air Force family and a Jewish family. I was a Peace Corps volunteer and a youth development worker. And I think all of those things have led me here. We've all been the person that makes somebody else feel like they're less than us, and we've all felt like we're less. And so that's one of the keys, is to be able to see each other as fellow human beings who, at the heart of it, are people just like anybody else.
My name is Lydia Beck, and a little over a year ago, I didn't even know what Peace Studies was, or if there was a program, or anything like that, so a lot's happened. And I think that peace has to be organic. It has to be local, and I'm not saying that outside forces have no role in that, but I think it's hard to have that, and I think not just KROC, but my time in Peace Corps too, it kind of shaped how I feel about that.
My name is Ben Bernard, and I'm from New York. And I don't care if it's Mogadishu or the South Bronx. There's conflict everywhere, and a lot of this stuff. There's structural violence everywhere, and mostly that's what it is. I mean, there's a fair amount of overt violence, and that was really reared its head, and I dealt with the overt violence, but a lot of it is structure.
My name is Amy Braun. I'm from Indianapolis in the United States. I think constructive social change is a lot about changing the way we think about our relationships with each other. A lot of relationships are based on inequality, are based on some people benefiting at the expense of others. And so I think we really need to have a serious conversation about inequality and structural violence to bring about more constructive social change and really changing the way we relate to each other. And that can be our social relationships and also our economic and political relationships.
My name is Cooper. I came to the Peace Studies program. A big reason was because of my time in the military from 2000 to 2006 almost. I was in the Marine Corps, and that time really shaped my thinking on conflict and peace and what these concepts are.
My name is Emmanuel Gore, and I come from South Sudan. I am from a Barrier tribe. Both my parents are from the same tribe, different villages, even though my mother comes from a Muslim background and my father is a Roman Catholic Christian. In terms of peace, of course, I think that it's fair to say that it's all something that I grew up with, that was nurtured and inculcated in me by my parents.
My name is Eric Lepp. I'm the token Canadian Mennonite in our class at the KROC Institute. I think that peace building can be compared to building a jigsaw puzzle. It's a strategic move to start around the edges and work your way into the middle. I think that the pieces are meant to fit together, but sometimes they surprise you and they don't. Sometimes you want to smash pieces together that don't fit. Sometimes it surprises you and pieces that you didn't think would fit together. I think it's a very intricate thing, building peace. And I think it's going to take everybody, everywhere, working together to build this jigsaw puzzle.
My name is Emily Manane, and come from Minnesota. That's where I was born and that's where I grew up. I think maybe what I'd like to talk the most about is violence against women, because how important it is to kind of analyze conflict through looking at gender and through looking at gender disparities kind of throughout the globe, and how those disparities can result in violence.
My name is Anton Mora and I'm Palestinian. I was born in Bethlehem, where Jesus was born, and I worked in Jerusalem, where he died and resurrected. So I'm coming from a holy place. I am here because I got a scholarship to study peace studies, Masters in Peace Studies, Institute for International Studies. I have a very narrow perspective towards the peace. I've always believed that everybody should find and search for peace within.
Hello, my name is Jude Norom. I am from the southeastern part of Nigeria. I am Igbo by tribe, and I'm a Catholic priest. I belong to the Order of the Congregation of the Holy Spirit, and has been a missionary in South Africa for the past 16 years before coming to the KROC Institute. But I think from my experience and from what I have seen that primarily religious actors work with people on the grassroots. They are there in those villages and urban areas where sometimes it's difficult for other actors to work in or to penetrate. And so their presence and bearing witness in these areas is very, very important.
My name is Solomia Piotkowska. I'm very, very committed to working in sport for development and peace field in the future. And what I've learned is that while I see sport as having this great potential through my experiences in life and in work, I do know that sport essentially is a neutral value sort of an environment. It could be used to pit people against each other. It could be used to generate aggressiveness, competitiveness, but it can also be used to build teams, build bridges, build relationships, and bring people together.
I'm Sashi Regmi. I'm from Nepal. I'm a captain in Nepalese army. During my course in the army, I saw the popular uprising in Nepal, and then I selected KROC for my studies. After completing my studies at KROC, I would go back to my work. I have some agendas and ideas to put forward in my institution. I would advocate for creating a gender balance in the Nepalese army. And secondly, I would ask for having a cell or a department or a section that deals with the internal conflict of the country, which is really very much needed in the Nepalese army.
My name is Lucia Ticornia. I come from Uruguay, and I wonder. Well, first of all, like what you say when you're saying that we have to work for development. Like, what do you mean? Why would we have to work to keep up with a certain standard of what is considered a good quality life? Like, I don't think that is universal. If you have a good life, well, it means pretty much that you have many of the things the so-called developed world has. And I don't think that's necessarily true, not for everybody.
My name is Francis Paise Amoti. I come from Port Portal, Uganda, East Africa. I admire Gandhi because of his philosophy of nonviolence. Right now, we are lucky this philosophy is working. We have seen it work in Tunisia, in Egypt. We're also seeing it develop, and we hope that in countries which are still struggling with democracy, governance, and rule of law, this philosophy can be borrowed and be utilized to bring about change in these countries.
We have come together at the KROC Institute from many different spaces, different countries, different cultures, different beliefs, different histories, different motivations. Inspired by the many leaders in our lives and in our world, we came together because of a common goal for building peace in our communities. Over the past 2 years, we have challenged each other, grown together, and struggled to discover what peace really means to us. Though our ideas are as diverse as our backgrounds, we have certainly come to find that peace building is complicated. It is about inclusiveness and respect. It is about young people and old people. It is about politics and grassroots development. It is about music and sports and faith. It is about healing and growing. It is about pushing for more, pushing to do better, together.
We are.
Young Gia.
We are.
Propen.
We are.
One more time.
We are.
Yi Kilo.
We are a.
We are.
Nahna.
We are.
Meya.
Amigo. Nosotros somos.
Turi.
We are the KROC class of 2012.